So the exhaust we're going to be installing on her CHR today is the catback exhaust from Remark. Now that name should sound familiar. Remark's been around the industry for quite a while. They make some pretty good quality products. I know they're pretty popular on the Corolla hatch platform. So if you're looking for an exhaust for your Toyota CHR, I'll put a couple on screen. There aren't that many to really choose from. It's pretty limited, the exhaust systems that you can do aside from doing like a custom exhaust, but this is what we're going to be installing today. So with that said, you can actually get this in a couple different tip options. I just went ahead and rolled with the polished chrome. You can also get the tip in a carbon fiber finish or a burnt tip or even titanium. But as choosing your tips, your price is going to go up. So just keep that in mind if you're looking to get this exhaust. Installation on this should be pretty easy. We do have our instructions right here. We have some bolts and we do have an exhaust washer right here. So this should be pretty straightforward. Let's go ahead and hop underneath the car and get this thing started. All right guys, so hopping up underneath the car, I did notice that this exhaust system is fairly short, so this should be a pretty easy install. It's all one piece. We do have two 14mm exhaust bolts up front that we're gonna need to remove, and then just 4 exhaust hangers. Pull that one off and we'll put the new one on. This should be pretty straightforward. So we're gonna go ahead and move up front and remove those exhaust bolts. Now all it's time to do is just remove the exhaust hangers. And there we have it guys. We have the OEM and the new Remark exhaust. As you can see, they're vastly different. We measured the OEM pipe and it came out to about 1.5 inches, and the Remark comes in at about 2.5 inch piping with 3.5 inch exhaust tips. So this is a huge upgrade from the OEM. It's gonna give us a really nice sound. So it should give us some pretty noticeable power gains. Obviously nothing on the level of a GT500. But it should give us some noticeable power gains over the OEM. So without further ado, I'm excited. Let's go ahead and throw on the Remark exhaust and finish this thing up. So because this is in 2 separate pieces, installation will be a lot easier. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and get this thing mocked up in the hangers, and then we'll go ahead and put in the bolts. We won't bolt them up, we'll just set them in place. Then we'll go ahead and put the muffler on, get those bolts in place, adjust, and then tighten everything down. That's pretty much the install complete. Now on this cat pipe, there is a donut washer. Make sure this is there. If not, replace it. Do what you have to do. This should already be on there. This is going to prevent from exhaust leaks. That just sits right there on the cat pipe. Alright, now before we put the muffler on, if you happen to remove the exhaust hangers like I did, you're going to want to go ahead and reinstall those back onto the exhaust hooks. So with that in place, now what we're going to do is we're going to use the provided washer and bolts to connect the muffler to the mid pipe. Alright guys, so I put the heads of the bolts facing this way just because right here there is this little subframe metal piece that's in the way, and there's no way you're going to be able to get a ratchet to stick on the bolt head right here. So we put the bolts facing this way, and then we'll put the nut right here. We'll just use an adjustable wrench to tighten this up on this side. Now that we have it in place, really the last thing to do is adjust it, figuring out where your fitment is, making sure the pipes are right, making sure they're aligned properly, tighten everything up, and you're gonna wanna torque the exhaust bolts down to 30 foot-pounds. And that's pretty much the installation complete. So we're gonna hop underneath, do that, and finish this thing up.